has...
You didn't know?
You can say we are the in crowd.
Acknowledge us.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Stadium Rant proudly presents to you the most electrifying wrestling show in the world. We are your hosts. I'm the Bake Show, Shake and Bake. That's the Nard Dog, Bernard Green. And that's the Professor, Nicholas Mullick. And here trying to get some technical difficulties out of the way. He will be joining us, the fourth host of our show, King Will have certainly a lot to say. Gentlemen, the Royal Rumble happened. Monday Night Raw happened. Honestly, other than that, wasn't too crazy of a news-heavy week. I mean, like, a couple of things kept on running through, but, I mean, it really was just pretty much news about the Rumble, which is good. For the past week, a couple of things we couldn't touch on because it was Rumble week, and we had some guests, and we had some focusing up to do, some locking in to do. And there's King Will. There he is, the man. Yeah, so let's talk about Charlotte Flair. Interesting promo on Monday. Jey Uso, very great promo on Monday. We need to talk about Penta, ladies and gentlemen. He is up for discussion this week, and you'll have to see whether it's good or bad. Hulk Hogan was not defended by a current WWE superstar, thankfully. That's good news. A superstar did return on NXT, and honestly, everybody's excited about it. All I'll say about that before we get into it is I was in a Call of Duty match casting, and in between matches, my co-caster, who's also a wrestling fan, was watching NXT, had it pulled up on a second monitor, and just starts freaking out. He goes, "Oh my God, this guy's back." He said the person's name. I'm not going to spoil it for those people that didn't watch NXT. You'll find out who returned, and if you know, you'll be pretty excited about it. It's pretty cool. Dark Side of the Ring, the Professor will dive into that. The topics came out a couple of weeks ago, but like I said, we got busy, you know what I'm saying? So he's going to talk about the topics for this upcoming season of Dark Side of the Ring. Brock Lesnar seems to be
He's
a member of the crew of a sinking ship, and there's apparently a Super Bowl story to be had. A lot to get through, gentlemen. Listen, I love the side talk, every once in a while, but it seems like we might got to lock in for a lot to talk about this week, but that's okay. But before we get into any of it, gentlemen, how we do?
Good. Doing good.
Doing good. I finally got all the connection issues worked out. Sorry about the late start.
You're good. Listen, royalty is expected to be a little late sometimes, Like, we gotta, honor our royalty here,
Can you guys hear my headset okay?
Oh, a lot better. A lot better.
BG, how you feeling, man?
Feeling good. It's been a hectic week. Trying
You're
to
representing
move.
the Stadium Rant crew. Look at your shirt. Look at this, Tyler. Look at the merchandise plug-in right down beneath me.
If y'all like, hey, fans, if y'all like it, go to our website. We got plenty of them, cups, phone cases, whatever.
Cool stuff. Listen, we'll kind of save the Royal Rumble stuff towards the end. Some of it's tied into events that happened Monday, and we will tie that in, or I will expertly weave that into the conversation and just kind of bang some of these out at once so we can just roll right on up with the most recent news, I believe. Seth Rollins was asked straight up, do you feel bad that Hulk Hogan got booed? And he is like, no. I don't feel bad. He's like, I love when people get what's coming to them. He's like, if you're a bad person, like, it is what it is, man. Like, and it's not like, I'll say this, it's not like Hulk Hogan didn't have every opportunity in the world to be like, I'm a bad guy, I'm sorry, I'm going to try to do better. He just always tries to sweep it under the rug and say prayers and vitamins and shove that down your throat and pretend it's 1990 again or whatever, 1987 again. It's just not, dude. Like, it's a very different world, and you continue to believe you're not in the wrong, and that is the problem. Good for Seth Rollins for taking a stance. He's not a guy that shies away from taking a stance if he specifically has one. There's certain things I feel like, he's like, I'm not educated enough, like, I'm not the guy to ask about that, but he's like, you know what, this I know a little bit about, and it's a thing you see a lot in the wrestling community online now. It's just kind of like, yeah, everyone's kind of over Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? It's like those days are over. It's like it was fun while it lasted, but too much truth has come out, man. It's just too much.
You want to know the funniest part too? Hulk Hogan decides to go on the Pat McAfee show, and he claims, now it's Hogan, so you have to take everything he says. He claims, oh yeah, I knew I was going to get booed. Yeah. And I can swim across from the Arctic Ocean all the way down to the Antarctic Ocean in 5 days. You see how easy it is to tell stories? You saw that? Like, he's such a liar. Like, going back and watching the entire promo of him being out there, you could tell how pissed off and upset he is. So don't give me that BS that, oh, I knew that was going to happen. This is coming from the same man who once claimed that Harley Race basically, after threatening to shoot him with a shotgun, basically drops the shotgun saying, I could really use a job, shook his hand, and thanked him for everything he did in the business. Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds Hulk, like a work.
Hulk, go back to your retirement home or your crappy beach house with your piece of garbage son and don't come back. Don't. Goodbye. Have a nice life.
What's his own quote? Sometimes you work so hard it turns into a shoot. And that's kind of his entire life, if we're being honest. For those of you that don't really know the wrestling lingo, a work is like working an angle that's not necessarily true, and all of a sudden you start doing it so much it becomes a shoot. And a shoot is something that's something really real. It's not a storyline. People are actually doing these things. Hulk Hogan, he tried to work the gimmick a little too hard in his life. And what's crazy? If he worked his gimmick, he probably wouldn't be in this situation. So I don't know where we're at. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened.
He did technically live his gimmick. He took his vitamins, he said his prayers, and he did drink his milk. And turns out it was steroids. It was steroids he was taking.
Listen, it was a muscle milk, but it was not drank. It was injected into his butt. I love Will, what do you got on the Hogan?
It kills me. I'm about to be 41 years old, so I grew up during the era of Hulkamania running wild and him tearing his shirt, saying your prayers, eating your vitamins. Everybody thought he was a legit good guy. And it turned out the only person slimier than Vince McMahon in the business might, in fact, be Hulk Hogan. I lost track what number wife he's on. 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there.
What are you talking, Charlotte Flair or Ric Flair here? Like, which one you're talking here?
I think the three of them are competing.
UFC beast. That's a hilarious comment, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Why do I know that name? I definitely know that name. But yeah, BG, what do you got on the Hulkster?
Man,
he said, "Hold on. Let me do
the old YouTube. I'm sorry, look.
I'm just over it, man. I mean, Hulk Hogan. I mean, like you said, Nicholas. I'm gonna echo what you said. It's time for him to go home, man. I mean, obviously he's not wanted there, but the reason why he's there because of WWE officials, maybe Triple H,
and his beer brand.
His beer brand. I mean, I bet you that beer tastes like piss.
Dude, this is coming from the same man too, who once claimed he would in a health article. He once claimed, "Oh, it took too many of my peers away. I'm never going to drink alcohol again. Never going to touch it." What does he decide to do? He starts
Thank
an own
God.
beer brand.
Just for the
In the Health
record,
magazine, he never did steroids. So
just for the record, his beer is gross.
you tried it.
I tried it once. It's disgusting.
Oh my
I'm
god!
curious. So,
Sick.
like, I need to try Stone Cold's American American Lager, and I want to try Real American. I heard the American Lager by Broken Skull is actually pretty good. But...
Well, we American beer tastes like watered down Bud Light.
Oh, nice. I bet it's way overpriced too. That's sick. Thanks, Hulk. I appreciate everything you've done for us. Really, I truly do. Listen, let's just knock this one out right here. Let's break it out with hopefully something fun or funny before we get a little dark for a couple moments here. Yes, I did. Brian Pillman at the Super Bowl. We got a story time from the professor.
All right. Who's ready for story time with the professor, baby? So, as you all know, Brian Pillman is known for his loose cannon gimmick. You know how he gets crazy and all that. I did a little research, and of course, with the Super Bowl coming up, Super Bowl, I think we're at 49. No, not 49, 59, if I remember correctly. Brian Pillman, if you guys don't know, used to be in the NFL. He played for the Cincinnati Bengals. He was also, I think, with the Calgary Stampeders in the CFL. Brian Pillman was nuts. And he was trying to get himself more noticed. And this story's been confirmed by Kim Wood, who is the strength and conditioning coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, and a really hidden figure in the loose cannon Brian Pillman stuff. He basically admitted a story where Brian Pillman, this is during Super Bowl 30, Brian Pillman wanted to find a way to grab tickets to that Super Bowl. This was during a time where there was no metal detectors, no nothing. You want to know what Brian Pillman's plan was to get his gimmick over? You're going to love this. He wanted to sneak in chains, like metal chains with multiple locks. And he wanted to streak the Super Bowl, go to like the end zone, wrap himself around it, and chain himself, causing a disruption in the Super Bowl. I mean,
that may be the most Brian Pillman story I have ever heard in my life.
That's not all. He didn't go through with the plan.
But there's more.
He didn't go through with the plan. So Brian Pillman, like, he was trying to grab tickets. The problem was, from the people he wanted, who was willing to give the tickets up, they were like, "Nuh-uh, I'm not giving you these tickets. They're going to track them down. They're going to find out where I am. They're going to come after me. They're going to arrest me as well. I'll be banned from the league." So they didn't give him the tickets. He had to abandon that plan. But think about if he actually went out there, streaked the Super Bowl, put chains on around the end zone, and chained himself in the middle of the game. Like, he'd be put in a mental institution.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if not prison. That's insane.
What do you guys so that's my story of Brian Pillman. I thought I would throw that in since we're in Super Bowl time. What do you guys think of that story?
Well, I ain't trying to be rude or anything, but I see why Lexi King is the way he is now.
By the way, he looks ridiculous. Like, I love you, Brian Pillman Jr., aka Lexus King, but he looks ridiculous with that beard. He looks awful. Go ahead, Bernard, continue.
Nah, that's all I got. That's all I got.
If you think he's bad, you should look up Melanie Pillman. That woman's insane too.
She's crazy.
Oh, I've told you guys the story of how she's the reason why the Ultimate Warrior got his first divorce, I believe. I forgot what episode I told that story on. But yeah, she's another one. She's another piece of work. Will, what do you think of that Super Bowl story?
I understand why the King is the way he is. It doesn't surprise me with Brian Pillman. I did forget he played in the NFL. Think he might even made a Pro Bowl. But come on, Brian Pillman, you knew that wasn't going to work. Lexus King, I'm sorry, that was your example.
Shake, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, that's just insane. It just makes a lot of sense for the type of guy he is. It's a little wild, I'm not gonna lie.
Pillman was no saint, but he knew how to get a character. He was willing to go to that level.
Oh, he was willing to work the work until it turned into a shoot. You know what I'm saying? Brock Lesnar was, after the whole Vince McMahon news dropped that, like, he was evading the federal charges or whatever the hell happened. A lot more news came out and more people were like, yeah, that's like 1,000,000% Brock Lesnar. And there was a lot of other names involved. And it's not good for the core of WWE. Or maybe it's great for the core of WWE just to get all of those people out of there.
Problem is Nick Khan's involved in it too, with the planning of like, here's my 5 takeaways from this story. First off, Brock Lesnar's done. Brock's done. And I've called this out since day one. Brock is done. And I got a few takeaways because I wrote this down in my notes here. I wanted to simplify because I read the pages of everything that's come out recently with the Janelle Grant stuff. Here are my main takeaways that I wrote. Apparently, McMahon offered Miss Grant to WWE superstar Brock Lesnar for encounters during formal negotiations of a new contract. McMahon also ordered Miss Grant to send Lesnar, Michael P.S. Hayes, and other people in the production team explicit content of herself for contract extensions. I mean, why is Michael P.S. Hayes still employed here, by the way? He's been demoted and promoted so many times. Other things I want to say before I let you move on of takeaways. McMahon sent text messages to Miss Grant where he fantasized in graphic detail as he was watching a group of men surrounding her, leaving her as a physical wreck, and would often send explicit photos during meetings with Vince McMahon and during the Mr. McMahon documentary that was being filmed by HBO. A text message from Mr. McMahon to Miss Grant where he made it clear that only McMahon has the power to arrange Miss Grant's encounters, and would often send photos to John Laurinaitis. McMahon also video recorded Miss Grant for Laurinaitis without Grant's knowledge, and also had plans where Laurinaitis would have a special door where Grant could use to go in and out of his door, and it would be right next to Paul Levesque's office. So stop with the BS that Triple H didn't know anything was going on here. Details about a sham investigation in WWE proclaimed the conduct in 2022 after it became public that McMahon signed NDAs with multiple women, and there were transcripts of a voice message keep in mind, there's transcripts of this, of a voice message from Mr. McMahon to Grant saying that he really needed to get this signed really fast so that he could save his marriage and that he doesn't get kicked out of the company. I mean, I'll do one more. Apparently, Brad Blum and Nick Khan were involved in the planning of John Laurinaitis' office, especially including the door that would allow Miss Grant to go in and out of. I don't want to read every word of it later because I'm already disgusted in this, but from the stuff I've read, I don't see how Brock Lesnar ever returns. I don't see how Vince McMahon comes out of this one unless they settle, which I think might happen. Why Michael P.S. Hayes is still employed with this company, I have no idea. John Laurinaitis is done. He's absolutely gone from pro wrestling. He will never return ever again. Brad Blum also resigned when these allegations were about to come out, which is quite the coincidence. My question is whatever happens to Nick Khan, because if he was involved in the planning, he had to know something was going on. And of course, Stephanie McMahon at the time resigned when all this stuff was coming out too. So I refuse to believe that she didn't know. The point is, everybody knew. Everybody knew, and they allowed it to go on. Shame on WWE. Shame on everyone who knew what was going on. How these people sleep, I have no idea. And it's just a depressing scene. Brock's done, and I'm going to take a little bit of a page that I've kept saying to Mr. McMahon and Johnny Ace. Get your lawyers ready, dude. You're going to need them when Sable divorces you. I hear Mr. McMahon and John Laurinaitis have some good recommendations for you. They've been doing it pretty well for the past few years. Screw you.
Well, guess what? The lawyers, the DEA, FBI, whatever and all, they're gonna clean Brock Lesnar the fuck out.
He's done.
I mean,
He's done.
you may as well say his Hall of Fame is gone too.
Hall of Fame, forget it.
Yeah, all that, and it's like this is. I know it's just like a different situation with different topic, but this is what I just been saying last week about the Oscar situation. It makes you look weak. It makes you look disgusting, and it makes you look like it's like you're desperate. I really don't get what's up with these people that gets to the top, rise to fame, has a lot of money, but yet they do dumb shit.
Not only
And
that, but I think it's an ego thing. It really is an ego thing. And with Vince, he thought he was untouchable. He really
yeah,
thought he
but
was
guess
untouchable.
that's the problem. But see, ego, it would turn around and bite you in your ass and eat your soul out.
I'm sorry, I'm
I
reading this
mean,
comment. What a shame does, dude, UFC fan 125. I'm putting this comment up. This is comment of the night right now. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe there isn't the Suplex City division in the FBI.
suplex, yeah. But like I said, the lawyers, they're gonna take everything. Sable, she's definitely gonna take everything. All they're doing just collecting, and filling up their bank accounts. Because ain't no way in hell Vince, Brock, John Laurinaitis, whoever involved in all, they're not gonna come out of this alive, man.
Yeah, they're not.
Their whole life is done. Go ahead, take it away, Shake, Bake, or King Will.
Go ahead, Will.
I agree with everything you just said, with one exception. There's no way Sable didn't know. There's absolutely no way that any of their wives didn't know what was going on. So even if she filed for divorce, which she probably will, if I'm Lesnar's attorney, I would argue she knew too. There's no way you could be in an extramarital affair for that many years and your spouse doesn't have some idea what's going on.
Everyone knows.
It just makes me sick. The McMahons act like they're these really great people, but when it gets down to it, they're kind of like the scum of the earth. And Triple H, spare me the sob story. I'm Paul Levesque. I didn't know what was going on. Yes, you did. I wouldn't even be shocked if it turns out you might have participated, but you definitely knew.
I hope not, because that would be
Oh
so
boy.
creepy. That would be so creepy if he did. But I don't know. I don't even want to think about that. And Mike, I have to ask, why does Michael P.S. Hayes still have a job? He's been promoted and demoted God knows how long.
He must have some kind of
He
dirt
must
on
have
the Cobbs and
something. Him and Bruce Pritchard must have something to still have jobs in this company. Shake, take it away.
That's what I said when the McMahon documentary came out, and yes, the same damn question. I said because they have something on them. That's the only reason. It is the only reason, and it may be coming out anywhere. I mean, I don't know. I don't have much more to say on it. It's ridiculous.
And I'm sorry I took too much time going through my notes of what I took away from it, but this is serious stuff here. And the fact that we had people out there saying like, who cares? Brock Lesnar should come back. You people are idiots.
Yeah.
You people are idiots.
If he
give it a
came
few
back, I
days.
would probably wash my hands of the WWE.
I don't know. I don't think he's coming back ever. I mean, definitely not during this whole Janelle Grant stuff while it's still active. I don't think he's coming back. I mean, he's done.
I give it a few days, and that's when we get notification that Sable's divorces Brock Lesnar.
I'm gonna clip that, and if you're right, I'm gonna post that everywhere.
So we can roll along. Get into Dark Side of the Ring season 6.
Man, I'm so excited for his Dark Side of the Ring season 6. We got official topics here. This is locked in. I'm gonna list them all out, and I'll give my thoughts on it. First topic: Mick Foley's Hell in a Cell. That's an interesting one, even though like it's been done to death. I think that's going to focus on the aftermath of like all the injuries he had. I mean, because Mick Foley's a wreck. It's a miracle that dude is even still walking, and how he lost his teeth in the match and it went up to his nose. It's crazy how he. And here's a fun fact about that match that I don't know if you guys know about it. Did you know the Undertaker was also hurt in that match?
Yeah, he broke his foot.
He broke his foot. I hope they talk about that in the episode. I don't know if he's going to get involved because of his ties with WWE, which would be a big miss, but I'm excited for that one. Next topic: the man they call Vader. That's an interesting one as well because Leon White, he's a tough dude. I've told you the story of how like he competed in a match with Stan Hansen and his eyeball legit popped out. And in the middle of the match, he like pushed it back into his eye socket to finish the match. Insane. They're going to talk about his beef with Shawn Michaels, how he pretty much kicked him out. There's a lot you can talk about of tough stories involving Vader. That one's going to be fun. Next, and we talked about this, so I'll be brief. Tony USA Atlas is getting an episode. That one was spoiled a while ago by Mark Henry. It's going to talk about his drug abuse, his homelessness. That one, and in the trailer, he did mention Mr. McMahon's name. Wonder if they're going to bring up his comments on the documentary. That's going to be interesting. Ludwig Borga. This guy was mainly during the mid-90s. Let's just say he was a racist, domestic abuser, homophobic, drug addict, very despicable human being who was proud to have a neo-Nazi tattoo on his foot and wanted to show it in the middle of his time with WWE. Yeah, that's the type of guy we're talking here. And his role in politics, too, is insane. I had an article on Stadium Rant. Next up, Billy Jack Haynes. This guy recently, last year, I think it was, murdered his wife. Allegedly, it was a mercy killing because she was dealing with mental health issues. I think she was having dementia and Alzheimer's. Here's the thing about Billy Jack, too, and we're going to talk about it, too, when the episodes come out. He's not all there. Like, he's definitely got a few bolts and screws loose. And shout out to Solid Monster, he said it right. He's like, he's definitely a few French fries shy of being a Happy Meal. Like, this guy is like the crazy conspiracy theories and the way this man talks is insane. And they actually got an interview with him from the jail that he's in right now. So that one probably will be the season finale. Next, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. He was big in the ECW days. That one's probably going to be a more ECW-centric episode. And they're probably going to talk about Missy Hyatt, another winner in the wrestling business. I mean, go look up what she did. She's another piece of work. Next up, Superstar Billy Graham. That's going to be more of a steroid abuse type episode. And the near-death experiences that man had at the end of his life. I mean, I lost track how many times he almost died. And if it wasn't for Billy Graham, there's no Hulk Hogan, there's no Jesse Ventura. So that will be a fun one. Daphne, that one's going to be a sad one. That one will probably be the darkest of the dark this season. With how she live streamed her basically reading her suicide note. And when she ended it, she was found dead the next day. And the way TNA treated her was bad. That one's going to be a sad one.
So bad.
Oh, that's going to be worse. The original Sheik, Ed Farhat. That's the guy who was like one of the first ones that started hardcore wrestling. I don't really know too much about Ed Farhat, so that one's going to be a learning experience for me. And the final one, Muhammad Hassan. This guy was like one of the rising guys in the Ruthless Aggression era. And his gimmick was that he was an Arab American. And let's just say that didn't go too well. It was too real. And then a London bombings happened. You know that like one storyline he had with The Undertaker where he was like praying and masked guys coming out. They choked The Undertaker out with a piano wire. It was like it was like a terrorist attack that they were doing in there. And that was so controversial. And that ended his career.
Did The Undertaker throw him through the stage?
Yes. And that pretty much ended his career in WWE. He's one of the greatest what-ifs of all time because he was a really good professional wrestler and great character. Those are the episodes. I'll go through them again. Mick Foley's Hell in a Cell, Vader, Tony Atlas, Ludwig Borga, Billy Jack Haynes, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, Superstar Billy Graham, Daphne, the original Sheik, Ed Farhat, and Muhammad Hassan. Those are the 10 episodes. I'm going to be doing reviews of it on StadiumRant.com. And heck, we may even talk about episodes on this podcast if we have time or not. But out of those 10 episodes, which is the one you're looking forward to learning more about?
I was a huge Daphne fan. They did her so dirty.
Oh, God. If you look up what TNA did with her, Like, TNA's PR team better be ready for that episode. What about you two, Bernard?
Yeah, same thing, Daphne. Daphne. I don't know about the Mick Foley's and all. I see it and heard about it so many times. So that's Daphne.
Shake?
Daphne.
It's between Vader and Hell in a Cell. I think Hell in a Cell changed wrestling forever. And I think that moment is huge. Yeah, BG, you're right. There's so many things done. It's been talked about so many times, but I can't get enough of it. Anything that has to do with Mick Foley, I'm in on. I love that man. I think what he put himself through just to make us smile, be entertained, feel something needs to be applauded as often as possible. And of course, yes, I am biased because he went to SUNY Cortland and I went to SUNY Cortland. So,
He
we
lives in
got
the
that in
Hamptons
common. But
nowadays. I think he's in the Hamptons in
he's
Long
from
Island.
Long Island, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Wrestled on the same high school wrestling team as Kevin James.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I keep
Yeah.
forgetting about that.
Kevin James
So I
also
got a
went to
question
Portland
for the
a short time.
professor.
Yes, King Will.
So he had a daughter, Noelle, who thought about wrestling. Did she ever make anything of it?
I think she had concussion issues and chose not to be involved with it.
She balled too hard.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Shake. Oh, my God. Ooh.
Hey,
that's
should I
not
show
cool.
off the Tua shirt while we're talking about the...
Oh, my God. We're losing sponsors by the second here.
Damn.
But yeah,
Speaking of rest,
you go ahead, Bernard. Go ahead.
no, I just want to bring this up right quick. But just speaking of wrestling and all, so I just read something that's now from WWE news and all that, like you said, Nicholas, they probably should get rid of this situation. Shake Big, King Will too, but apparently WWE superstars are very unhappy with Def Jam, and they're tired of Def Jam. Their
Def
theme
Rebel.
songs, yeah, Def Rebel, not Def Jam. Def Jam is awesome. But yeah, they are very unhappy and they are really frustrated with Def Rebel.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Def Rebel sucks. So
It was reported by Sean Rossap that Jim Johnston will not be coming back though. So
yeah, there's heat with him in WWE. With people forget he got fired from WWE. He didn't leave; he got fired from there. So there's still heat there.
yeah. So I mean, we can move right along. New debut here in NXT before we get to the Royal Rumble, and we tie some things in there from the week. But Fandango debuted again in NXT. He's back with a little bit of a change. He's not exactly the same, but that's okay. Trey, what's up, fella? How you doing, brother? Listen, thank you for showing up and showing out on Saturday. Trey was the winner of our first ever WWE Shop t-shirt giveaway. Shout out Trey. He's an absolute legend. But before we go back, quick thoughts on Fandango before we get to the Rumble.
I'll start on this one. Fandango is incredibly talented. He's actually a really good pro wrestler. He's technically sound. He knows what he's doing. It's just a case of at the time Vince McMahon gave him a really stupid gimmick that he couldn't get over. Finally, they teamed him up with Tyler Breeze. He somewhat got over, and then I believe he got fired. So he's a talented wrestler. I'm curious to see what he can do as JDC or whatever they're calling him now. But hopefully he doesn't get another stupid gimmick like Fandango.
Yeah, before he wrestled as Fandango, he was Johnny Curtis in WWE, and I actually liked him. I think he's a very underrated professional wrestler. Although the one thing I also kind of did hate with him, when he did the leg drop from the top rope, nah, don't do that. That has to, knowing what Hogan's leg drop normally would do, if you do that from the top rope, yeah, that's gonna be hell on your back. So don't do that. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do there. I think the peak of his career wasn't the win against Jericho. It was his tag team with Tyler Breeze when they were doing the Fashion Files gimmick. Those were funny. I loved those, especially when they were in Britain. and they called the Usos Thiagos because they were like trying to investigate. It was so fun. I gotta find the clip if it's still up on the YouTube network. It was hilarious, and I love when basically Fandango is like cheerio because they were in Britain, and Tyler Breeze is like, no thanks, I already had my breakfast.
Could you
so
say
funny.
that Pretty Deadly is based a little bit on that tag team?
Ooh, I think they're kind of based on Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze was great in NXT. They really were. He was until he got called up, and that went all downhill from there. Yeah, I would say so.
BG,
What do you
got
think, Bernard?
Fandango.
Fandango. Well, hey, second time's a charm, right? I like it. I like he's back in NXT. We'll see where it goes from here. I like that he went and challenged that Alexa King for the Heritage Cup Championship Cup. We'll see what happens from there. Hopefully, he have a better run in WWE, the most foremost in the last one.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. We're here. We are headed directly to the Royal Rumble. Honestly, it was a pretty darn good show. It was probably one of the better ones in the past few years for sure. I enjoyed it a whole heck of a lot. Was a little bit surprising for some things that happened, but honestly, not all that surprising when you take a second and think about it. Let's start with the women's Royal Rumble, and your winner headed to headline, not main event, but headline WrestleMania with the World Championship match. The Queen, Charlotte Flair. My prediction, the only one on the show that predicted Charlotte Flair to win was me. Charlotte Flair got the dub. Gentlemen, how do we feel about the Women's Royal Rumble? There's a lot of things that happened. We can talk about Lyra. We can talk about a return that I don't want to spoil. We can actually, we're talking about the Women's Royal Rumble. Alexa Bliss returned. We were waiting. We thought she wasn't going to come back. She did. Little bit of a surprise. Nikki Bella was the only legend to return. It was cool.
No, you got Trish Stratus.
You got Trish is the legend.
That's right. I forgot about Trish Stratus. I 1,000,000% forgot about Trish Stratus.
Nikki Bella was I think number 30 entrant, if I remember correctly. She returned. The big return was Alexa Bliss. And I gotta be honest with you, WWE played those contract rumors perfectly. And first off, I'm glad that they're on a great point. But here's something I gotta ask you guys, and it's been bugging my mind. Is she going to Raw? Or is she going to SmackDown?
She's going to SmackDown. It was announced.
She's going to SmackDown as part of the Wyatt Six.
And why was she on Raw? Or being advertised
Alexa was on Raw?
No, like she was being advertised for Raw then. Why was she advertised for that?
Well, WrestleOps said the original plan was to have her go to Raw, but something happened with we're talking Alexa, right?
Yeah.
Something happened with Nikki, whatever her name, Cross. So now Alexa's going to go join the Wyatt Six. And I wish they wouldn't do that to her. You bring her back and then you kill her by attaching her to that group of losers.
So there's something going on with Nikki Cross is what's being reported? Yeah. Really? Wow. I hope she's okay. I don't know if it's like a health issue or like something personal. I hope she's okay. But the thing I don't understand, and they've done this plenty of times. Can we just end the damn brand split at this point? If you're going to like advertise one wrestler to be on this show, yet you're moving her to the other show. Like, can we end the brand split, please?
There should be the NXT roster and the main roster. That's it.
Yeah. About the Roman, first of all, I gotta show some love to my NXT women. They showed up and they showed out. From Lash Legend to Jada Parker to Stephanie Vacquier to Roxanne Perez to Julia. And if I'm missing another NXT woman wrestler that wrestled at that event, my apologies. But shout out to them. Hey, the future is bright in WWE as far as the women's concerned. Shout out to them. overall, I think the Royal Rumble was pretty good. Congratulations to Charlotte. Alexa Bliss, yes, that was a huge return. That pop that she get when she arrived and all, it's like it was just out of this world. Um, um, all the ladies killed it. Um, and of course, Nia Jax, she had to spoil the fun by trying to eliminate all the women she can and all. But hey, shout out to you too, Nia Jax. I ain't mad at you. But overall, it was a pretty solid, Royal Rumble. Only thing I wish is that I wish that they had Oscar return, but I think she needs to. I guess she needs a little bit more time to heal, make sure she get that leg in already. But I think we'll probably see her in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, and I think there was something that happened out of the ring too. Like she texted that she was fearing for her life or something like that, and WWE was making sure she had the security, make sure she was safe. I'm guessing that I'm not gonna assume things here. I'm just throwing it out there as a potential reason why she wasn't in there. But I just hope she's okay. Go ahead, King.
I really like the Rumble. I'm still a little ticked off about how they're booking Lyra Valkyrie. I don't get it at all. It makes no sense. The NXT women did a really good job. If you watch Raw Monday night, Roxanne Perez now refers to herself as the main roster. So I don't know if she's still in NXT or if they quietly called her Nikki Bella, and I can do with or without her. There was a rumor today she wants Brie Bella to come back with her. I don't think it'll happen. But come on, guys. Charlotte in the Bank didn't need to win the freaking Royal Rumble.
She has Charlotte in the bank. She could have cashed in anytime she wanted.
But she cashed in at the Rumble like I said she would. Exactly I said she would.
You were right.
The minute I saw the promo, I said, that's weird. That doesn't make any sense. And I said, wait a minute, unless it does. Because it does, because they had her win the Royal Rumble. And that's kind of tying into my point. Charlotte Flair came out on Monday Night Raw, and she tried to be a babyface, and the crowd was like, we actually hate you. Stop what you're doing. And then she kind of started leading into the boos, but she was genuinely pissed off that she did not get the reaction she thought she was going to. She thought people were going to miss her. I think that's like some kind of like Flair kind of delusion that you think people are just going to love you every single time you come back. I love Charlotte as a heel. If she came back and said, screw you guys, I know none of you wanted me to win the Rumble, but I came back and I did, and people got pissed, I would have been all over it. But this was weird. This was awkward. She won the Rumble. I agree. Lyra Valkyria. It's just, and now she got put in a qualifier match against Bayley and she lost. It's just like, why, while you're trying to establish a new title, do you keep putting her in situations to lose? If she qualified for Elimination Chamber and lost in there, okay, there's 6 other women. That's fine. In the Royal Rumble, she got ditched way too damn early. Professor was irate about that. And
pisses me off.
If she just had kept going and had a good run, that's fine. If she didn't win the Rumble, that's fine. She has the IC title. Like, if she doesn't win, nobody really cares. But if she had a better run, it would have looked better for that title, and that's a major issue. But, yeah, I mean, this is what Charlotte Flair does. She shows up, she wrecks house, and she makes everybody upset. And I think it's absolutely hilarious. And I think it's funny that she thought she was going to get cheered for some reason on Monday. I just don't understand where that comes from. She looked genuinely upset. But yeah, it was a good Rumble all in all. I agree with King Will. I could care less that Nikki came back. Like, it was cool for a minute, but then I was like, all right. Well, what I said during the watch party was, if you were going to have Nikki return and Charlotte return and do it the way you did it, with Charlotte winning anyway, why not have Charlotte come out 30? Nikki Bella at 30 does nothing. No one saw Nikki Bella come out at 30 and was like, oh my God, maybe Nikki's going to win the Rumble. I think that's the point of 30, is to have that shock value. And you used to have that with Lesnar. I think he came out 30 when Drew won. And everyone's like, oh shit, there's no way Drew's winning. Brock just came out at 30.
No,
I think he did.
That's not true. Brock was one of the first ones to enter, and he went on such a dominant reign.
I thought he was first.
Yeah,
Oh, was he?
Rock was first
I'm
and
thinking a
second.
different year then, but there
You're-
was a year Brock came out 30, and that was the purpose of it. He didn't win it, but that was the
No,
purpose of it.
was it? I
Yeah.
don't think that's true.
It was a
I
couple
can't
of
remember
years
that.
ago. I think it was the one that headed into SummerSlam.
Yeah.
No,
But
that's Money in the Bank. That's Money in the
No,
Bank.
no, it was the year going into WrestleMania 38 because he didn't win the Rumble that year, but he won the Elimination Chamber.
Oh,
And won the
that one.
WWE Championship.
That one. I know the one you're talking. That one was the worst
Yes.
Royal Rumble. One of the worst Royal Rumbles of all time. Okay.
Right, but
okay.
that would have made more sense, right? If you have someone come out at 30 that you think is going to win, and that throws a wrench into things. And I think that was a missed opportunity, but that's nitpicking, of course. Bean, I see you in the chat, brother. I appreciate you showing up again. I love you, brother. Yeah, it's the delusional entitlement. Listen, I've said this numerous times. I love Charlotte Flair. Would she have a lot of championships? Yes, she would. Would she have this many if she didn't have the last name Flair? No, absolutely not. But it is what it is, and we can kind of roll on. It was a good match all in all. It wasn't a surprise that Jordan Grace came in. She just kind of showed up. One thing that was a little disappointing throughout the show, and one thing I thought was going to be pretty awesome, but it kind of blew whatever. You know where I'm going. It wasn't very good. The 2 out of 3 falls match between DIY and Motor City Machine Guns. I like what happened at the end of the match more than what happened at all during the match. I thought these two guys were going to absolutely ball. Four guys. It just didn't really materialize. And I think part of it was we maybe seen them too much. But yeah, I mean, I'll let you guys take it away. DIY ended up winning that match with some help from the Street Profits, which we needed that. We needed them to do something meaningful.
I keep telling y'all, you gotta keep your eye on the Street Profits. So let me go ahead and start this off. So overall, the match, I wasn't really feeling this match. Right? I was trying to eat everything inside. I saw. So I I I didn't enjoy the match, but I kind of liked the ending of it where the Street Profits come in. They said, "I forget this. Nobody ain't winning this match." I keep telling y'all, I'm booking it. Clip it, Nicholas and JC. The Street Profits are winning them titles either before or at WrestleMania.
They need to win at WrestleMania.
Win at WrestleMania. Okay, so yeah, so I got them winning. I got them winning. Getting titles back. It's too long overdue for them for a title run. I think when was their last tag team title run? What, 3 years ago, maybe?
I think it was 2021, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so almost 4 years ago.
Yeah, let me go on Bing. I'll go on Bing right now and look it up.
That match was good. Nah, I disagree, Stack the Bean. But
no, he was talking about the 2 out of 3 falls match being a dud.
Oh, okay. My fault about that being my fault. But yeah, the Street Profits are winning the titles back.
I want Street Profits as heel, but Will, what do you got?
2 out of 3 false matches just need to go away. Anybody who's watched WWE long enough to know the only fall that really matters is the third one. The first 2 are just kind of pointless. So just have a regular tag match or go way back to the day and have a 3 stages of hell match. But this 2 out of 3 falls match idea is absolutely pointless because the first 2 falls don't matter. I do like the Street Profits. I hope they win the belts of Royal Rumble. I feel bad for Motor City Machine Gun. They were only really used as a prop. That was the only reason apparently they've had the tag belts so far. So hopefully the Street Profits get them here pretty soon.
Okay, I do have the answer to when they last held the tag championships. January 8th, 2021 was when they dropped the belts last.
So it's a little over 4 years ago.
Yes, that's according to Bing. So you were right.
So we can move along here. It was a good show overall. I think something that I don't think underperformed. I don't think it necessarily overperformed either. I think it exactly hit the mark for everything you wanted in this match. Undisputed championship ladder match. Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes was the winner. We all knew that was going to happen. But it was fun. We thought Sami Zayn was going to get involved. He was there, did not get involved. So that was kind of interesting. And then Kevin Owens got a little upset he didn't get involved. But Cody won the match. There were some insane spots that you will only see seemingly in the main roster out of Kevin Owens. Some of the bumps this guy takes. This match was absolutely phenomenal. Probably my favorite on the card. I think it was probably overall the best. From start to finish, I was into this match. It was absolutely phenomenal. Bernard, what did you think of the ladder match?
I agree with Stack the Bean here. Hey, that match was good, and it was a brawl, and he loved it. So did I. The Bean. That match was awesome. I like the angles, like I said, the spots. The storytelling, and Cody Rhodes came up the victor. I love every bit of it. Congratulations to Cody. Question is, are they still going to possibly have a new title belt for Cody Rhodes, and it might just keep the current title? I don't know, but it was a stud of a match.
Will, what do you got?
Oh, that was an awesome match. I'm a Kevin Owens fan. I'm a little disappointed he didn't win the belt, but we all knew he wasn't going to win the belt.
He should have won it at Saturday night's main event, the first one that ever.
He should have.
Back. I've said that since the beginning. He should have won it there. Like, I don't get why he hasn't won it yet. And plus,
I do believe Cody's hurt. At least that's the rumor.
Really, Cody is hurt?
I don't know if it's just story or I don't know if it's a work or a shoot.
I think it might be a work, but I mean, here's my question I got to ask you guys. Do you think that the end goal here is yet again another Kevin Owens and Cody match? Because I don't want to be that guy. I kind of don't want to see it again.
The match is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Bro, then what's Cody going to do?
Whoever wins the Elimination Chamber.
Which is John Cena.
Are you sure he will win it? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if we're not going to be able to see him win it, even if he wins it.
Damn it! You stole my joke. Stop. Enough. Stop.
Oh, I know. Nobody's ever heard it.
Shake. Oh. No, but on a serious note, do we know any other confirmed people that will be involved in the Elimination Chamber?
No, just John Cena.
Just John Cena.
Because he's filming a movie.
Okay.
I
want to wait
until... Who qualified Monday night?
I don't think anybody did.
I don't think so.
Oh, CM Punk did.
That's right.
CM Punk won.
I want to wait until all the participants are confirmed before we decide who wins and faces Cody at Mania. Because, Punk did. Thank you, Stock.
Beans on top of it.
Dude, you are the man, dude. And I know we've said this previously. Your photo that you use here is gorgeous. Love it. So as I was saying, I want to wait until all the participants are confirmed before we discuss that. But if it is John Cena, here's the thing. I don't want John Cena's last WrestleMania to be a loss. I want him to win at the final Mania.
Yeah, me too.
You know who I think would be perfect for John Cena in that spot? And I've said this to you guys. Logan Paul. Logan Paul versus John Cena, I think, would be a great match.
I might be on the table, but I know one thing: if CM Punk is in this Elimination Chamber, you may as well count Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre in there too.
You got to probably throw Roman in there too, as well.
Yeah.
Now, getting back to the Rumble, I was happy with the winner on Saturday night, but the more I talk to the professor, the more I think about it. What a waste of a winner of the Rumble. Even if he wins the belt at WrestleMania, he's going to hold it for like a month. And nobody wants to see Jay versus Gunther.
Stop sipping on the damn haterade. Stop it. Stop doing it. Because you know what the damn alternative is? Will, Nicholas, everyone that thinks Jey Uso was a waste? The alternative is fucking Goldberg versus Gunther, guys. Get your fucking head locked in.
Jake, you didn't let me respond to that. You didn't let me. You're responding to King Will. I've thought about this through. I understand why WWE did it because Jay is over right now. He is over right now.
There's nobody more over.
I'm still shocked he won it, but I understand now why they went with Jay. And I don't think he's a great singles wrestler. I don't think he's that great. But doesn't matter. He's over. And he's
That's what they
going to
did to
win.
Kofi King.
So
He
exactly.
is over.
Kofi got
Yeah.
over too.
That's
with
what
the
this
Kofi
Yeah.
business
Mania
is
stuff.
about, gentlemen. It's not about being the best wrestler. It's about selling the most tickets, being the most over, selling the most.
Exactly. And that's
Yeah.
why I want to say this now. Jey Uso winning, like I was in shock, and I don't know if I was 100% in, but with the reaction he had on Monday night, and while he stopped the
that
music,
promo.
and that promo he cut. I
Yeah.
mean, that was the best promo Jey Uso ever cut in his entire
Mhm.
career as a
Right.
singles wrestler.
Right.
And that's saying something because he's had some great ones during the Bloodline in the early days
Yeah.
about him falling in line. What I hope happens when Jey Uso wins that title, I want Rock, I want Roman, I want Rikishi, I want everyone from the family to come out there, and I
Yeah.
want him to become the tribal chief.
Now,
Or-
see that I'd be on board
Or the
with.
Ulafala. Like, he gets the Ulafala around his neck. And here's the next one. Roman gives the Ulafala to Jey Uso, saying that you've proved your worth. And I would have him be the one that give the Ulafala to Jey Uso with the title.
That'd be fire. No, I won't hold your breath on that one, brother.
I know
I think
it's fantasy booking, but I'm just thinking if how I would go from it. If you really, because he's going to win the title at Mania, I would go to the next stage of the Bloodline stuff. I would give him the Ulafala, like a new one, like a specially made one for him.
Here's a question
Or maybe you have Roman give the same Ulafala that the Wild Samoans have, and you would give it to Jey Uso. That's how I would do it.
when is the last time somebody won the Rumble and didn't win the belt at Mania? I'm not sure I can remember.
Shinsuke.
has to be the last one. I mean,
Yeah.
I think
It has to be.
Was there a woman's wrestler that didn't win the title?
Asuka.
Was it Asuka?
That was
I'm
at
still- I'm
Asuka's
still-
first loss was at Mania.
Well,
Yeah.
I think so. That was the worst booking decision ever.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Shinsuke was after that, though, was it not?
No, I think it was at the same show.
I think it was the same year.
I think it was the same show.
Damn, they said F Japan in one show.
Yeah.
Damn.
You didn't have to put it like that.
Did they not, though?
They did.
Wow. That's insane.
Just for the record, ringside rant, we love Japan. We love wrestlers all over the world.
Yeah,
I love Japanese wrestling too. Like,
yeah, me too.
If
Oh
I
my
ever
goodness.
have time and money, which I don't have right now, I would love to go to Japan and watch a New Japan show.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Japan, I got a question for all three of you guys. I asked some my Oscar fans on
Oh
Twitter.
my god,
AKA
Asuka's
Axel.
0-6 at Mania?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's never won.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got my question as far as that. Who I don't know if y'all know who Akira Hokuto is. She's a OG. Who will win out of her and Oscar right now? Both in their primes right now.
Asuka.
I would probably. Oh man, I love Akira Hokutoa. She's so great. I would have to go with Asuka, but it's a tie for me. They're both great. I love her match in Japan. Why you gotta put me on the spot here? She's so great.
No,
I don't know, but I would love to watch that match.
Oh, if
Me
they were
too.
both in their prime, that would have been so fun. I would have paid to see Dump Matsumoto and like her have a match with Asuka. That would have been so fire. And
Listen, it would have been dope, but we're right up against it here, gentlemen. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Good conversations this evening. Little left on the docket. My man Penta, I'll definitely be talking about him next week, so stay tuned for that. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. Make sure to follow all of the boys and Stadium Rant on social media. And check out stadiumrant.com for articles on your favorite teams, players, and leagues. And as always, if you're not down with that, we got just 2 words for you. Acknowledge